Okay guys, let's do the news. So what's new? I've been trying to diagnose what went wrong with my car. No, it's not necessary, it's not to say a bad thing, but it's a little bit troublesome. I have some oil losses after the turbo upgrade. So right now my car is pushing around 630 over horsepower on the engine. So it's actually running on the race fuel, that's why you get 600 over. And if it is on the pump fuel 97, I get around 580. So imagine the racing fuel. It's a RON 105, if I'm not wrong. It's a RON 105. Okay, let's go back to this my issue. My issue, I have some oil loss. So I've been trying to diagnose what went wrong. Is it the turbo not good, or the oil quality and everything? I've tried basically everything. The turbo is new, to be honest. It's a new turbo where I bought from Germany, the TTH 650. It's a newly built turbo. So less likely it's going to have issue. If it is the turbo that's going to have the issue, it's going to leak very drastic, very fast. So I turned to this guy, not to say guy, I turned to chatgpt for diagnosing. So you know how the AI works, chatgpt works. Basically, if there is something happen in the internet somewhere around, anywhere around here and there, posted their issue, they know. So they keep studying, and what they came out to me is that it's very common for hybrid turbo to have high oil consumption. They say that I need to have a catch can for it. I've been scratching my head. Catch can, oil catch can. I thought oil catch can is just to catch the oil mist and prevent the oil mist from going to the intake, dirty the valves, intake valves, and that's the catch can that I understand. But in fact, the other theory about this thing is actually a quite complicated theory where I'm trying to study for a while already. Basically, in short, the turbo oil seals, they are operating based on pressure difference. So you can see here, so this is a quick simple diagram that I draw. Okay, there's an oil pressure is high here, and oil pressure is low here. So basically this is how it cools down the turbine, everything. So the oil goes in and oil goes out. Okay, so this is high pressure, and this relies on the intake, which is a vacuum. One vacuum, one positive, the seal works fine. But hybrid turbo, the intake is larger, the exhaust is the same, the intake is larger. So imagine if you trying to suck more air in with a small, this is strong vacuum, the strong vacuum. But when you try to suck more air in, it's become less vacuum. When this thing is less vacuum, and this PCV, because of the higher pressure, higher combustion pressure and everything, this PCV supposedly is also a vacuum, it becomes a little bit positive. So this thing, in short, the intake becomes positive. More positive than the previous one, it's very positive. It's only a certain operation condition that makes this become positive, the whole intake become positive. So definitely you see the turbo, once the turbo sucks air in, it compresses, goes here, this is definitely positive. But this is always negative, the air intake side. So that's what the chatgpt told me. So how are we going to prevent this? They said you add an oil catch can onto this, the PCV, it actually stops, number one, the oil mist for the engine definitely. It stops the intake from getting dirty. And number two, it actually regulates the crankcase pressure. So I've been thinking, how does it happen? Okay, so in short, the oil stays longer in the turbo here, and the oil seeps here into here, goes into here. That's why I don't have any white smoke and things like that. In fact, after some hot drives, when I pop up my hood, I can smell engine oil, the smell of engine oil. Actually, we are not supposed to smell any engine oil in the engine bay because this the pressure is capped, everything is sealed. You don't really get to smell it. But I can smell some. Where does it come from? Definitely it comes the other way back into the intake, which is this part here. The oil pressure here, it goes in here. In this area, there are some oil mist going into the engine. So that's why I get to smell. So we will know whether the oil catch can really helps. But that's what ChatGPT say is that it won't magically disappear on the issue, but it will reduce. Let's say for example 600 ml for 1000 km, for example, it will drop to maybe 100 to 200 ml per 1000 km. So that goes to the oil catch can. I have the oil catch here. Everyone knows what an oil catch can. Oil catch can is not a very special technology and stuff like that. You see, this is for the S55. So short, but huge. We have this thing here, the hose, and we have the holder here, and we have the clamps. And most importantly, this is the oil catch can. So the oil catch can is not a very high technology stuff, and also you don't require a space technology to build an oil catch can. But these guys, surprisingly, I got it from China. The build of the oil catch can is quite solid, and what actually amazes me is that they have this dipstick to tell you if your oil catch can is full. If it's full, something is really going wrong. So let's try to pop this one. Okay, you have to see the proper sealing. Okay, well, this is nothing special. You see here, there's a 3-layer. I would assume that there's an in, there's an out here, there's an in here. So the in goes in here, go from the exhaust, from the PCV, it goes in here, something like this. And once it goes in here, it goes in this part here. It's actually a spiral inside there. If you can see, I don't know whether you can see it. It's actually a spiral inside there.
$2,000 years later.
One week later.
Okay, it's already been a few weeks of driving here and there and testing and idling. According to the ChatGPT, idling and also long cruising is the one that caused the pressure difference on the seal that leads to the oil seeping past through the seal because of the pressure difference like I mentioned before. So it's been a few weeks already. Well, so far I'm doing a engine oil level measuring over here, and what I can realize is that it doesn't seem to have any oil consumption, which is a good thing. Well, hopefully it remains there, and hopefully what the studies about the oil pressure and everything, the intake pressure and everything, and also the oil catch can helps regulating the pressure. And this is it. Can you see? Oh, can you see? This is it. So we don't have any oil consumption issue at the moment. So hopefully this is the answer for it. So we're going to go out and check and see the another part of the function of the oil catch can, which is cleaning up the air before it goes into the intake. Let's see outside what do we have here. Let's shut the car down. Okay, well, I did another thing just to check the status of it. You see, I unplugged this tube, which is from the PCV. Zero. It's clean. It's so clean that it's so dry inside. Well, hopefully that this oil catch can actually regulates. Hopefully it regulates the oil pressure, the pressure, and it helps with my oil fuel consumption issue. So this also tells that my PCV is actually quite healthy. Yeah, quite healthy. Okay, so now it's time to put it back on. Okay,